Get off this land right now, or you're gonna regret it big time. Susan's voice cut through the still air around Silverwood Pond like a sharp knife, her eyes locked on mine with pure rage, a shiny pistol pointed straight at my heart because I wouldn't budge from the spot I'd bought fair and square, the cozy log cabin I'd just settled into after years of chaos. She called herself the boss of some made-up neighborhood group, convinced my little slice of paradise was breaking all her imaginary rules. But what she didn't know was the old deputy's star tucked in my pocket was about to flip her whole world upside down. And the second she twitched that trigger, those flashing lights would light up the night behind me like fireworks. Comment if you've ever stared down someone like that, thinking they had all the power, only to watch it crumble. You see, I'm John Harlan, pushing 60 now, just retired after 35 years wearing the badge in this quiet county, chasing down everything from petty thieves to the occasional big-time crook that wandered our way. A few months back, after my wife Emily finally lost her fight with that damn illness, I sold our place in town and snagged this rundown cabin by the pond. Not to hide from the world, but to chase the peace she'd always talked about, you know. Mornings with coffee watching the water ripple. Evenings fixing up the creaky porch while remembering her laugh. Her saying, "John, one day we'll have our spot by the water, me tending flowers, you casting lines." The cabin was a fixer-upper, peeling paint and leaky roof, but that view, man, it healed something in me, sitting there alone with her dreams, piecing together a new life from the shards left behind. At first it was bliss, birds chirping, fish jumping, but then these weird drones started buzzing overhead, same time every day, like clockwork surveillance, and soon enough, these pink slips slid under my door, violation notices for nonsense like fence height too tall by an inch, or truck parked facing the wrong way, fines stacking up like bad luck. I'd had my buddy Mike, the lawyer from way back, check the deeds twice. No neighborhood association on record, county said zilch. So who was playing games? That's when Susan Baxter stormed in, mid-40s, decked out like a corporate warrior in her khaki vest and clipboard, measuring tape swinging like a weapon, GoPro strapped to her chest, filming every step. "Mr. Harlan, I'm Susan, head of the Silverwood Pond Oversight Committee. Your grass is over by half an inch. That's a $150 hit. And don't get me started on that bird feeder," she barked, her tone all high and mighty, like she'd never heard the word no. I chuckled at first. The absurdity of it. Her treating my yard like a crime scene. But she wasn't joking. Live streaming the whole thing. "Folks, here's a rogue homeowner thumbing his nose at our standards. Tune in tomorrow for enforcement." Her crew showed up next. A ragtag bunch. Young kid Ryan, fresh out of school, looking lost with his notepad. Linda, the bitter divorcee from up the road, in a vest screaming "Oversight Enforcer," like a bad costume party. They poked around, measuring distances to the water's edge, minus 24.8 feet when rules supposedly demanded 25, photographing my handmade bench like evidence. "Unauthorized build, sir. Could tank property values," Linda muttered, shaking her head, while Susan narrated to her camera. "This encroachment steals from families who play by the book." My gut twisted. This wasn't just nosy neighbors. It felt personal, like Susan had a grudge against newcomers carving out their piece. Maybe jealous of the pond views she'd eyed for years, or worse, part of some scheme to pressure folks out for quick flips. I tested her. "Show me the bylaws," and she dodged. "Protected files. Probationary members like you don't qualify yet." Google turned up nothing on her group, no filings, no site. Just smoke. Ryan whispered to Linda, doubtful. "Why no printed rules?" And she shrugged, uneasy. "All digital, Karen. I mean Susan says so." That's when I knew. Scam, pure and simple, targeting loners like me, widows down the block, to wear us down with fake fines until we sold cheap. Things escalated at her emergency hearing in a dingy strip mall office. Chairs in rows like a mock courtroom. Susan banging a toy gavel, actually a stapler with wood taped on, declaring, "Order! We're addressing threats to our community's future." Her fake lawyer, Victor Lang, spouted jargon. Exhibits prove willful defiance. Folders stuffed with printouts in goofy fonts. Neighbors shifted uncomfortably. Mrs. Garcia, sweet lady in her 60s, frowning deeper by the minute. I stood. "Incorporation papers? State law requires them." Susan snapped. "Irrelevant to compliance." But my nephew Alex, the firefighter kid I'd called for backup, filmed discreetly, catching Victor's card slip. Not HOA council, but Lang Legal Debt Collection. The room tensed. I pulled my badge. Retired Deputy John Harlan, 35 years. What you're doing's fraud, impersonation, federal level. Silence hit like a brick. Ryan bolted upright. You said he was just some old timer. Mrs. Garcia nodded. I knew you from that lost kid case last year. Thank God. Victor packed up fast, but Susan hissed, eyes narrowing. Badge or not, rules apply. You'll see tomorrow. Her threat hung heavy, born from whatever void drove her. Maybe a failed marriage, lost control elsewhere, turning to bully tactics for power, manipulating the vulnerable to feel big. Next dawn, chainsaws roared. Ryan and Hires chopping my shrubs. Community space, ma'am said. I confronted, calm, trespassing boys. Susan rolled in with trucks, Victor back despite the flop, plus Carl, some assessment expert in a vest, babbling wrong terms like easement taxes. Then the fake video, me, or a deep fake, smashing a non-existent grill, shadows all off. Alex zoomed. Metadata says fake Harlan edit, busted. Neighbors gathered. Mr. Patel, Ryan's dad, furious. You roped my boy into this crap? Mrs. Garcia marched over. Fake videos? That's criminal. The pattern spilled. 10 pondside homes hid in months. All elders are newbies. Fines pushing sales to Pondview Realty LLC. Susan's shell, listings cheap as dirt. We dug deeper. Alex on Facebook spotting her bogus group. All posts from dummies. Victims shared stories like Widow Helen fined for flower pots, nearly signing away her deed. Motives clear. Greed. Susan and Victor flipping properties, exploiting isolation. Community fears of decline to recruit pawns like Linda, who thought she was protecting values but got played. Threats turned real. Black SUV with Mike Russo and Tony Vega. Muscled goons flashing holsters. Victor smirking. Accidents happen to stubborn folks. Alex streamed. Neighbors rallied in Mrs. Garcia's yard. Tom the vet exposing Susan's shady buys. 3 homes snatched via liens she'd invented. By sunset, they besieged my cabin. Susan on bullhorn, vacate or face removal. Goons advanced. Crowbars ready. Neighbors chanted support, signs waving. I blocked the door. Felony, back off. Susan cracked, pistol out, shaking. Enough! Get out or else! Screams erupted, phones dialing 911. Alex filmed steady. I badge flashed again. Deputy Harlan, assault on an officer. Sirens wailed. Cops swarmed, my old trainee leading. John, you okay? Susan dropped the gun, screeching, He's the crook! But evidence poured. Videos, docs, confessions from pawns like Ryan. She lied to us all. Victor fled but got nabbed later in another county running the same racket. Susan got 4 years for assault, fraud, extortion, her empire dust. The pond healed. Real voluntary group formed. Potlucks on my deck. Kids fishing where Emily's garden blooms now. But here's the twist that nags me. Was Susan pure evil or just broken, pushed by a system that chews up the desperate? Makes you wonder if anyone's one bad day from snapping like that. What do you think? Could she have been redeemed, or was justice the only fix? Share your take on fake power plays in neighborhoods, right or wrong moves. Hit subscribe for more real tales where everyday folks fight back and win.